I don't know. You don't drink water, so I don't know how your skin's clear. But
Oh, I started using Curology, so maybe
who?
that's help.
Okay,
Curology.
okay. You explain it to me later. Okay. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hope all's well. And it's good. It's Monday. Monday, July the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe the summer's going by so fast.
Thank goodness, because I'm over it already. The summer heat.
Yo, it's gonna be hot this week too.
I know.
What's crazy? What was it? Yeah, we're talking on point how the summers just aren't as hot as they used to be. Before they used to be hot like every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, but I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not a big summer person, but
Mm-mm.
um, I like spring, fall. Those are my
Just
good
let it
times.
stay there. We're good.
Right, right. I'm cool.
Hey, Latrice.
We're from Belize. Hey, Keisha. We see other folk coming on. Uh, Please do us a favor if you are joining us for the first time. Type in VIP in the chat part. Even if you join us again, second, third, fourth, fifth time, or our normals, shout us out. Let us know you're watching. We love to be able to see who's on. Um, so come on and share with us so we can get to this discussion. We hope you're enjoying uh, these discussions on Mondays,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where we talk about random stuff. Maya makes fun of me, and
It's the other way around. I don't
what
ever make fun of you.
she throws shade at me. Hi, Joanne. She throws shade at me and they act like she doesn't do it. Um, hey, Sister Dawn, how you doing? And
Hi. They know the truth. They ain't fooled by your games, Pastor Nick.
what games? I don't play games.
Uh-huh.
I don't play games at all. I'm Hey, Antoinette, how you doing?
Hi.
Y'all stay safe around here. These streets, the surges are back up. Um,
It's
yeah, stay
crazy.
safe in these streets and you know all that good stuff. Um, hey, Will. Yeah, man, I'm getting gray up in here, and I'm not dyeing my beard at all. I kind of want it to grow in more, so it'd be salt and pepper full. What you shaking your head for?
I didn't say anything.
Kind of have that full, kind of, you know, look distinguished. That's what it is. She doesn't have her glasses on. Thank you, Keisha. I'm sitting there looking like something's.
Okay, yeah, I'm not wearing my glasses.
Yeah, that's what it is. I need to change my Wi-Fi real quick. So if I go out, uh, hold on real quick. Maya can talk.
Yeah, so as you guys know, it is July. I can't believe that we're almost well, we are halfway through it already. But it is a special month because we are celebrating Bishop on his 32nd pastoral anniversary. 32 years is a long time, isn't it? That's a
Older
long
than
time.
yeah, same as you, right? Well, soon to
Yes,
be.
so it's not quite that long. It's not that long of a time. But 32 years, like that's something. So we want to make sure that we celebrate Bishop on this pastoral anniversary. We've been asking everyone to send in their videos. This is the last week that you can do it, so please go ahead and do so. But we're also collecting a love gift for him, $100, I believe, so that we can just show him again how much we love and appreciate him, especially during this time. We want to make sure that he feels it right. So we are celebrating on the 24th at our 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. services. Um, for our 11 a.m. service, we're doing a drive through. What's it called? A drive
Whatever it's
parade,
called. Yeah,
um, following the service at 11 a.m. So make sure to come on out. Let someone know to tune in and to join us for that time.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be hot today. Most will be hot. Not today, is it? I know it's supposed to
It's
be
gonna
hot.
be a heat wave all week. So
And today is gonna jump up to 97, 96. Lord have mercy. Oh,
hmm
Anywho, we were going over. If you missed last week's uh, Maximize, go back and watch it. We talked about life and expectations. I'm trying these videos are kind of like blending them together. Life and expectations. And I sent you a bunch of those
Oh yeah.
pictures. Remember the one we did about Sister Caroline, Howard Carolyn, excuse me, Carolyn Clark.
Mhm.
Howard, um uh yeah. And we got another one. Just post anyone and we'll talk about it.
All right. I have to see
These are
this.
pretty interesting, and I think that they are good for us. Um, God speaks through illustrations. He speaks through images, and he knows that our it, some people demonize senses when God actually uses our senses to talk to us, to help us out. Um, you know, in life. So senses, being led by your senses isn't always good. Being led by the Spirit is the right thing, but God does use our senses to speak to us, uh,
Mm-hmm.
to teach us, and He uses visual images and things of hearing and examples. Uh, that's why storytelling is so good, because storytelling helps cement something in your thought process. Because we're actually wired for story. We live by story. One of the things we've been talking about in Bible study is that if you want to change your person, you got to change the stories you tell yourself, because we live by story.
Yeah.
We live by images and metaphors. And those images, those metaphors, those stories dictate how we live. So, for example, if my story is that I'm always rejected, I have that image, that metaphor, that story dominates my thought process, where no matter what I do, I'm always going to be rejected. Uh, no relationship is ever going to work out right. Uh, and it affects our behavior. We do things to be rejected. Then when we are rejected, we're like, I knew I was going to be rejected. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if that's your story, that's your metaphor, that's how you'll act.
Yeah.
And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Uh, so, it's learned transformation really works when we start identifying those stories, those metaphors, because how can God transform something you're unwilling to admit? And it's sometimes hard. I wouldn't say sometimes. It's hard often to admit what's really wrong with you,
Yeah.
because the admission can be embarrassing. It could be shameful. And you don't want to admit it because it's like, no, I don't want to believe that it's true.
Right. You don't want to own it.
You don't want to own it, yeah. Rather than learning to own it, but also learning that owning it doesn't mean you want to stay that way, but it can lead to transformation if you just acknowledge, yo, I'm a little crazy. I got this issue. It's
Mm-hmm.
not good. Lord, help me change.
Mm-hmm.
But without honesty, you can't change. Don't,
Yeah.
we try to put a bow on it and call it something else. But no, you're a jealous person, or you're unforgiving, or you battle with anger, it's something.
Mm-hmm. I think it's okay to admit that you're human and that you struggle with these things or you have these fears. And I think oftentimes we try to convince ourselves and others that we're invincible, that,
Mhm.
like you said, we're not able to actually go through the healing process because we just don't want to admit that this is the issue that we're dealing with.
Yeah. And I think it's embarrassing. Like we talked on Wednesday, along what you're saying when we were talking, it reminded me of this. On Bible study, last week, if you missed last week's Bible study, watch it. Last week's Bible study, we kind of got into your condition versus your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to pick it up again this Wednesday. Your condition versus your identity. I think we're ashamed to admit certain things, because to admit it, we feel like it's all of who we are,
Mm-hmm.
rather than being a part of who I am. So we feel like if I admit that, then I'm actually admitting that me as a person is all of that.
Yeah.
When you're so much more than what's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Our identity is in Christ. We're children of God, but we have these conditions called sin, fear, whatever your problem is. That's something you have. It's not who you are.
Right.
But as long as you see yourself as that's who I am, it'll be hard to admit it, and it'll be hard to change, when the reality is you're more than what's wrong with you. You're more than your height. You're more than your look. You're more than your weight. You're more than your passion, more,
Mm-hmm.
those are part of who we are. It's not all of who we are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we didn't start a rant or something, wasn't? But anyway,
So
good, Maya.
let's put this up.
That's good. So yeah, and so again, it goes back to something that is an event versus a lifestyle. We feel like I don't want to try it because I may fail,
Mm-hmm.
right? But what if it actually works? When I hear people say things like, I've never done that before, it won't work. My question always is, how do you know unless you try it?
Mm-hmm.
Trying automatically, watch this, y'all. Trying automatically means in some way you're going to fail because nobody gets it right the first time.
Right.
Failure is a part of the process. It's not the whole process. But I think honestly, when we say things like, well, what if I fail? That's an excuse to not do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just our fears talking, giving us a reason not to do it because we got to find a way not to.
Right.
Because we're afraid that if I try it, I may fail. But what if you fail? So what?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
what?
it's definitely a mindset and perspective and how you look at things. Like I like to say, every failure is a success because then you're learning, okay, this doesn't work, so I need to keep trying to get me to what will work. But yeah, definitely, like, if you don't try, you're definitely not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know.
mean, if you here's the thing. Here's the thing I think we don't think about. If you try, you may fail. But if you don't try, you also fail.
Mm-hmm.
How? You fail to live up to the potential, the strength, and all those things that you have. So either way, you're going to fail. I'd rather choose to fail trying than failing and doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, that's hard. Well, guess what? Choose your hard. Being broke is hard. Prospering is hard. You know, choose your
Absolutely.
heart. You don't work out, you don't eat right. That leads to a hard life. It's hard to go to the gym, work out, do all that stuff. Choose your
Mm-hmm.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have to choose which one you want.
But I think when you choose the hard way, for lack of better words, it makes it easier because then you're not being disappointed.
I would say this. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong here, if you feel like I'm wrong here.
Okay.
I got to, again, we talking about choosing, right? I have to
Uh-huh.
choose my disappointment.
Right.
So either I'll choose to be, afraid of disappointment now.
Mm-hmm.
If I choose to be afraid of disappointment so I don't try, I'm then choosing disappointment later when I get older and look back with regret on all the stuff
Yep.
I should have did.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to choose when you're going to be disappointed. Either you try, you do, and experience disappointment, or you don't do anything at all. And then you're 50, 60 years old, realizing that you left so much on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this comes down to, do you want to deal with it now? Or do you want to deal with it later? Which you're going to deal with
Get
it.
it over with. Yeah.
Right. You might as well get it over with. I mean, you're a business owner, so you get it. It's a series of disappointments, failures, almost like you're walking down a dark path or a dark
Mm-hmm.
hallway trying to find, the door.
Yeah.
You everybody's entrepreneurial experience. I'm just using that as an example. Everybody's life experience is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching somebody I know. She has a pretty big YouTube page. It's grown over the years, and her thing was slow and steady.
Mm-hmm.
Kept building it slow and steady. Slow and
Consistency.
steady. Consistency over years, and it took her
Mm-hmm.
years to get this following. And her thing was, people want to make it look like I got here quick, I got here fast, but they usually don't tell you how they got there. Like she used the example of, you know, you can look like this too, but they don't tell you the real deal how they actually look like that, or the real deal how they succeeded like that.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to show the end
Mhm.
result, but not the process to get to that end result.
Right.
But it takes time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think on the other end of that too, even just thinking in terms of business, sometimes people think, well, there's already, thousands of other people who are doing the same thing. So why should I even try and to do that too? But I think we talked about this before. There's only one of you. So I feel like we're all able to, use our gifts and talents to make it our own. But I know sometimes that's something that keeps people from trying or
Yeah.
just stepping out, or it feeds into their fear.
Right. You're right. It's an excuse not to do it.
Mhm.
We find ways to excuse our fears rather than call them what they are. I'm actually scared,
Mhm.
so this is why I'm not doing
Mhm.
it. It's like,
Mhm.
it's like I'm getting back on it. I got to go back and get it right. This book on fear, right? And something was holding me back, but I keep telling myself, not a good writer, I'm not a good writer. And I'm like, the very thing that was holding me back from actually writing it was the very thing I was gonna be writing about. It's like, it's the craziest thing. I'm like, come on, boy, come on.
Let's get it together. You got
Yeah,
this.
like, it's not gonna be good. It's not, I don't write like everybody else, but here's the thing, everybody's not going to do it the way that you do it. And guess what? If God wanted you to do it the way somebody else did it, he'd have made you just like them.
Right.
There's something that God put in you that the other person that you're comparing yourself to can't give to the world.
Mhm.
Your own unique view, your own unique perception.
Mhm.
You may know this better than I did. You probably will. I'm not a big art person. Like, it's cool to see stuff, but they were like, oh, look at this art and the
I'm
Picasso.
still going to turn you into a Broadway person if it's the
No, you're
last
not.
thing I do.
It's not gonna happen. This Picasso versus this Da Vinci, like, I can appreciate it, but then when they start talking about the little subtle tones that Picasso has, or Leonardo da Vinci has versus Michelangelo and all that,
Mhm.
all of them are unique in their presentation,
Yeah.
and everybody has their crowd. But that thing of, well, if I don't do it, what if I fail, versus I actually try it and it works out.
Mhm.
I mean, look at this. I know Da Vinci probably didn't think of this, of course, but the Mona Lisa wasn't even his favorite work.
Yeah.
But they actually believe that he didn't even finish it. It's incomplete. Incomplete. Wasn't even his favorite work. Is the most famous painting in
Mhm.
the whole entire world.
Yeah.
Who knew? I'm sure he didn't think about it.
No, we can be so incredibly hard on ourselves that we aren't able to see clearly.
Mhm.
And that's what surprises me. Like, I know people today who are amazing painters. They throw stuff away because they don't think that it's, they didn't come out the way that they thought it would. So I'm like,
Mhm.
you're throwing away tons of beautiful things just because of whatever reason. But yeah, we're so hard on ourselves that I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for the things that we do
Yeah.
sometimes.
Rather than watching our progression and
Mhm.
seeing, this is how I started. This is where I started. To a year or two now, this is where I got to. And you
Mhm.
can look back at, look at how I've grown, but I don't think we look at it like that. We don't look at
Yeah.
it like, this is my very first one. Like, I don't even want to listen to my first sermon. I don't even know if this probably taped somewhere. I don't no idea where it
Mhm.
is. But I'm not acting like I'm the greatest preacher to this day. I've grown,
Yeah.
but
I think it's, and I get it, because seeing some of the things that I've done in the past is definitely cringeworthy. But I think it's good to be able to look at those things and to reflect and see, wow, I've come from a far, far away. I've grown. It's good to have
yeah,
those moments.
yeah. And then sometimes you actually look back and realize it really wasn't that bad.
Mhm.
We cringe at it, right? But at the time, it was actually pretty cool. But we cringed at it like, ugh. Versus, there was actually something of value here. I think
Yeah.
we judge our old stuff based off where we are presently or where we
Mhm.
desire to go,
Mhm.
rather than look, that's who I was X, Y, and Z time. In learning to celebrate your growth,
Yeah.
but learning how to try, even if even if you are experiencing some form of failure, at least you're stepping out there. Now, we're not saying step out there without wisdom, without
Mhm.
contemplation, strategy. Do all the strategy, do all the contemplation, do all your praying, all that. Just talking to a friend of mine today about some of this. Do all that, pray, contemplate, but there are people who bet on themselves, and guess what? They win.
Mhm.
and and you have to learn to bet on yourself sometime
Mhm.
with all the proper stuff before you bet on yourself. Don't be foolish about it.
Yeah.
Like you listen to Steve Harvey, like, sleeping this is he being homeless for a while. He said, I wouldn't recommend that path to nobody. There's a better way to do this. But he looks back on that time and learn from all that,
Yeah.
so he can help other people, do it better, have a better start than he did. Put it that way.
Mhm. Yeah. I think was it elevator speeches, like always prepare your elevator speech because you never know who you're going to run into. Like it just literally takes one person for things to change your entire life. So, like look at those failures as just preparation for when that one time, that one conversation, that one whatever comes and gets you to what your idea of success is.
Yeah, the right person calls your name. The right
Mhm.
person says, "Follow this person." The right person
Mhm.
says it can open up a floodgate.
But even the wrong person too, because it might not just be the right time, but because you had that conversation, it comes
Mhm.
back to their mind and they're able to, I don't know, connect you to someone else or whatever. But no isn't always a no.
Yeah, that sounds like a spoiled daughter phrase. No is always a no.
No. Context is important.
Oh, context is important. Yeah,
Context
context.
is
Uh-huh.
important. But no isn't always no. It's just a not
Mhm.
right now or not in this way.
She said it with that smile, like, "Well, there's always a chance." But no,
And then you say that I pick or you see, it's the other way around.
I'm not denying that. But what I am saying is that you said it with that spoiled daughter, like, it's not always a no. There's
I'm not
always a
spoiled, I'm
maybe. There's always
blessed.
tomorrow. We can work on this person, you know. But you're right. No, it's not always a no. This no over here can open up a door over
Mhm.
here. This closed door leads you to the open door.
Yep.
Uh, but I think a lot of what you're talking about is just the tenacity and the willingness to keep going at it
Mhm.
and to keep going. A lot of people have great ideas. Like you said earlier, they just give up. They throw
Mhm.
their stuff away, and like you were on to something. And just, I know pastors that they were working, doing good. Then all of a sudden they wanted to change up and do something else. And their
Mhm.
ministry started to kind of flounder. But it's like you should have stayed on what you were doing, but because it wasn't working quick enough,
Yeah.
they moved on to something else to get them immediate reaction rather than building towards something that was
Mhm.
ultimately going to really make them successful.
And I think that too, I think sometimes because we think, oh, it's our idea that it's going to stay our idea,
Mhm.
that's not always true either. I've seen it. Well, I've had great ideas that I didn't act on, and then I see someone else doing it, you know? So I'm like, oh man, I should have done something with that. Don't miss
Yeah,
opportunities.
true. You're right. Yeah. Then by the time you go do it, this person's already did it already. It's not that you can't do it again, do it, but
Yeah.
ideas they come around. And I think sometimes, what did somebody say back in the day? I'm paraphrasing here, but procrastination is procrastination is like the entitlement that you'll always think another opportunity will come.
Hmm.
something along those lines of I can't remember how they said it, but procrastination is that sense of entitlement that another opportunity, another moment is going to show up, when that's not always true. Because our thought is, well, I can always do it later.
Right.
Not always true.
Nope.
Not always true. I'm talking to myself now. Not always true.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the thief of time. It's not always true. You just never know. God gives us moments, seasons, and time to maximize opportunities, and we have to maximize those opportunities within those moments. Seize those moments, and a lot of it's just really just the hard work and putting the effort in and doing it to its conclusion. Because here's the thing: a lot of us forget you'll learn along the way. Nobody started off. The people you admire, if you would have saw them when they first started, you would feel better about yourself, because you're like, wow. We're looking at what time and circumstance formed in the person, not their very first sermon, their very first solo, their very first picture, their very first business meeting, their very first investment. We're looking at years of what made the person, rather than the beginning. All right, we got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah. Can we give a shout out to our VIPs who are tuning in? Robin and Perdenese, Miss Lee. Welcome. Glad that you're joining us.
Yeah, glad you joined us. Welcome. So we're going to get out of here soon. We try to keep these to about a half hour now. What's going on this week?
So this week we have the recap tonight at 5:30. Put myself in the recap team. And then, of course, we're going to do a rebroadcast of yesterday's message. So if you missed it this Sunday or want to watch it again, definitely make sure you tune in tonight at 7. And then
should the outdoor service or the 8 o'clock service?
The 8 o'clock service.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So then on Tuesday, we had the Link Couples Ministry with Pastor Nick, who went through some more myths of marriage. It's a good one, so tune in. Some of those hurt my feelings, and I'm not even married, so
I don't remember what I talked about. You sure that wasn't the single one?
No.
It was that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's Tuesday at 7. Wednesday we have Word Impact Gathering at 7. And then on Saturday on Point Radio with Pastor Nick again and Bishop, just talking about pop culture, sports, politics, anything that's happening, you guys talk about. And then later on that evening at 6 p.m., Emerging Worship. And then a full day of worship on Sunday, which is, again, a very special day because we're celebrating Bishop's 32nd pastoral anniversary. So definitely make sure to come and fellowship with us during our 8 a.m. online service, and then in person for our 11 a.m. service, followed by the drive-by parade. So, yeah.
Yeah. So sow into his life, y'all. You can do it on all our giving platforms and be a blessing to him, and keep him in prayer and his family and everybody. And we will see y'all next Monday for another Maximized Monday. God bless you all. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.